You know, the world actually has a hidden operating system. It's like a strategy guide, full of unwritten rules that govern how absolutely everything works. And the truth is, most adults rarely, if ever, talk about it. In fact, some people only figure it out way after they've grown up. But you have the capability to understand it right now. So welcome to this explainer. I'm here to pull back the curtain on the adult world and walk through these concepts with you, step by step, in plain English. Because recently, I noticed a truly fascinating trend in the global economy. And it's something I really want to share with you, because understanding this early on, it gives you an incredible edge in life.
Okay, let's dive into this. Look at this totally bizarre mystery playing out in Japan right now. On one hand, their unemployment rate is frozen at this historic, super low 2.5%. Basically, everyone who wants a job has one. But on the exact same hand, the major corporate bosses are quietly panicking. Their confidence is really softening. Think about it kind of like this. It's exactly like when you take your school exams and you pass, right? On the surface, you look like you're doing perfectly fine. But inside, you are silently panicking because you just found out that next month's mock exam covers 3 times as much material. And on top of that, your tuition fees are going up. You look totally fine on the outside, but inside, your confidence is entirely shaken. Let's look a little closer at the evidence.
To really see what's happening here, I want you to imagine Japan as this massive, clay-animated Pokémon convenience store. The store is absolutely packed to the brim with customers. You've got the store managers standing right at the front door, desperately begging people to please put on uniforms and come work for them. From the outside looking in, business looks like it's absolutely booming.
Just to show you exactly how packed it is, listen to this staggering number: 68,820,000. That is the record-breaking number of people currently employed in Japan right now, largely driven by a massive post-pandemic tourism boom. On the surface, if you're just looking at the sheer number of people working, everything looks phenomenally successful. But, as you and I know, we always have to look a little deeper than the surface.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the hidden reality hitting that store manager. When they go to the back to restock the shelves, they are nearly fainting. International oil prices are surging. The paper they use to print Pokémon cards, that's surging too. And on top of all of that, the Japanese yen has become incredibly weak, nearing an exchange rate of 160 to the dollar. This essentially means that what used to cost the manager $1 to import now costs $1.50. So even though the store is completely crowded with buyers, a huge chunk of their money goes straight to just paying for electricity and basic materials. Their profits are just being squeezed completely flat.
There's actually a formal name for this invisible thief. It's called imported inflation. Let me break this down into a situation you'd probably experience at school. Imagine you always bring your own water bottle from home, right? It's virtually free. But suddenly, the school cafeteria completely bans personal water bottles. Now you're forced to buy imported, fancy sparkling water from the cafeteria. Because global shipping costs skyrocketed, that sparkling water is incredibly expensive. And just like that, your weekly allowance is instantly drained. It's incredibly frustrating, right? Well, that is imported inflation. External costs rise beyond your control, and they just drain your wealth from the inside out.
So, the crucial point is, why does this Japanese store manager's headache actually matter to you and me? Well, because it triggers a massive global domino effect. Here's how it plays out. Step 1. Japan's corporate costs, known as their PPI, hit a record high. Step 2. The Bank of Japan is forced to step in and raise interest rates to cool things down. Step 3. Global mega investors, guys who've been borrowing super cheap Japanese yen to buy stocks all around the world, start to completely panic. They urgently sell off those global stocks to return the borrowed yen before it gets too expensive to pay back. And step 4, because they are selling off so much, so fast, global stock markets, including local tech stocks right here at home, experience a violent, totally unpredictable roller coaster ride. Literally, a butterfly flaps its wings in Tokyo, and your investments shake.
Let's pull the camera back even further into the highest halls of global economics. Imagine a tense, very cinematic room, a world cafe on a rainy, late night. The air smells of dark coffee and smoky oak. You've got neon light refracting through the raindrops on the window, casting this cold glow over a long wooden table. Around this table, the different countries are sitting together. Let's picture them as clay animation animal personas. It's basically a high-stakes poker game of international relations, a brilliant, quiet, psychological war. Let's see exactly who is sitting at the table.
Over in the corner sits Japan. Picture an intense, meticulous Shiba Inu in a crisp, dark suit, silently wiping a timer. He's deeply burdened. He's staring at a historic high PPI of 134.5. He feels this unprecedented, imported inflation pressure squeezing his chest. But he mutters with absolute, quiet resolve. Even if costs are high, my precision cannot fail. Summer rate hikes are coming.
Now contrast that with the USA, sitting right across the table, an aggressive, imposing golden retriever. He slams a thick ISM Services Index report right onto the wood. He lights a cigar, looking around the room with this invasive gleam in his eye. Since the Middle East pushed oil prices up, he dictates, in a booming, authoritative voice, global funds must follow my script. The yen moves as I dictate.
And quietly watching all of this unfold is China. A deep-thinking, profoundly quiet Tibetan Mastiff. He sits back with his hands folded. He looks at his own moderate consumer price index data. A subtle, kind of mysterious smile crosses his face as he thinks, let them drain themselves in this energy cost attrition. Let them wear each other down. Soon, the rules will be mine.
And this brilliantly illustrates where we find Taiwan in this global game. An empathetic, observant, mixed-breed dog sitting right at the very intersection of all these massive powers. She understands America's dominance. She sees right through China's long-term play. And she completely feels the suffocating cost pressure gripping Japan's heart. So, quietly, she places a shining semiconductor wafer on the table, a beacon of stability. She decides, I will be the stable anchor in this global storm with our resilient technology.
Let's move to the next part and see how this builds into real-world action for you. Because knowing about this hidden operating system, well, that's only half the battle. The other half is what you actually do with it. You're incredibly intelligent, and you are more than capable of using this master's toolkit. First, practice what we call cost pass-through sensitivity. The next time you buy an anime blind box or go out for a bowl of ramen, check the price tag. Is it more expensive than last month? Ask yourself, is the product actually better, or are you just paying for rising oil and global shipping costs? Second, when it comes to any investments you or your family might have, do not chase the stock market highs right now. Volatility is for sure coming. It's smart to hold some cash safely. And third, if you're looking at the future, focus on AI supply chains and upstream semiconductor equipment.
Why semiconductor equipment, you ask? Because despite all the panic and all the cost squeezing we just talked about, Japan's second quarter exports still surged by an astonishing 17%. And that growth, it was driven entirely by the unstoppable global demand for semiconductor equipment. Because of the AI boom, absolutely everyone needs these chips. It is the ultimate anti-shock talisman in a very volatile world. Taking the time to really understand these deep global mechanics, that takes a brilliant mind, and I am incredibly proud of your critical thinking. You absolutely have the potential to be a master of this game. So, I leave you with this. The next time you buy a blind box at the store, or you hear an adult talking nervously about the stock market, will you see the hidden operating system pulling the strings? Keep your eyes open, guard your allowance against these hidden forces, and I will see you next time as we continue to decode the world together.